What up, y'all? It's your boy T, and welcome back to me. Now, look, I found this channel the other day, as in yesterday, because this video got uploaded. A deep dive into Pokemon Legends Arceus scrap content. I want to watch this. So look, go watch the original. I'm gonna be pausing the crap out of this. You know, YouTube's F nowadays, reaction content. What you gonna do, bro? What you gonna do? How you want me to research all the scrap content myself when it's been laid out here in a video?
This document is titled 2021 Project Outline.
Wow, so in 2020, Game Freak in their studio, Masada half naked. He got the PowerPoint. That's so cool.
Which immediately tells us that Legends Arceus was initially being targeted for a 2021 release.
Has it ever been confirmed? Like, I feel stupid always saying it, but it goes without saying. Who releases a game in January? It's so obvious BDSP is supposed to be like August, September, and then Legends Arceus is like November, December release. It's so weird that they went for a January release. If you think about it, maybe they just try to get holiday sales no matter what, because Pokemon is so freaking hot. Pokemon's freaking comfortable with March releases and all, you know? Just capitalize on spring and crap.
The file itself appears to have been last updated in September 2020, but because of the way Japanese dates are formatted, it actually tells us that the document was last updated in September 2019. Now it's unclear if this was
The frick did you just say? Did you just freaking spend 10 seconds talking about, like, misreading this? I only have freaking 20 minutes, so I want to quickly watch this video and go back inside. I'm freaking pissed because the video isn't started yet, but the person who made this video clearly did an incredible job. I just have no attention span for this.
It actually tells us that the document was last updated in September 2019. Now it's unclear if this was the initial pitch date, or if a pitch was first
2019. Yo, it makes sense, bro. It takes a good Pokemon at least says they take 2 years to develop a game. So, bro, Legends Arceus 2022 release, planned late 2021. The pitch should be for 2019 or before 2019, a bit before.
The doc also notes that this project came from Game Freak Development Division 2. Division 1 is likely responsible for the mainline titles, while Division 2 tends to focus.
All this crap confirmed? Yeah, I just be reading the interviews and hearing stuff like they gave, like when making Sun and Ultra Sun and Moon, they gave it to a different team and a different director and all. I don't remember who it was, maybe Kazuma Seowa or something, and he was handling that. That's where I got the impression that Game Freak split their teams. And then by the time LC came out, it seemed obvious they really wanted to split their teams. But yo, if my boy here got some scoop that confirms it, beyond.
Division 1 is likely responsible for the mainline titles, while Division 2 tends to focus on the titles in between, like remakes and experimental games, like Let's Go and Legends. Page 2 again confirms.
Wait a sec, bro. I guess you gave the B team Legends and Let's Go, but it makes sense when it's something new. Yeah, they have to set the groundwork. They have to do it right. So it has to be A team. B team was clearly given BDSP and Ultra Sun and Moon. I feel like I had more examples when I was started. Like, I already said all this.
2021 target. But as we know, Legends Arceus was ultimately released in early 2022 instead. And to fill the 2021 slot, Game Freak brought in Ilka to develop.
The freaking head doesn't move! I can't believe it's been like 8 years since I saw the trailer, and that's my reaction.
Instead, and to fill the 2021 slot, Game Freak brought in Ilka.
The bobblehead don't move. My gosh. Oh, this is from the Terra leak. I could have looked at this myself. Now, all this is in Japanese. I'm not gonna sit there manually translating it. So F it, I'll continue watching the video. But this is where it's from. The Terra leak, the whole PowerPoint itself. You can look at it. Work position. Pokemon Legends Arceus game philosophy. Huh, it's their philosophy going in. Let's see. Game for you and your philosophies. You and your I want to see proof you guys think.
It mentions that Game Freak were considering a Diamond and Pearl remake, and it seems they hadn't yet fully decided whether to go with a traditional remake using the current technology or go this experimental.
Now I know that's so obvious, but it's cool to see it freaking written. You can see Pokemon's thought process as if they're wrestling. You can see them changing stuff on the fly. You can see they were happy with the ORAS system. They're like, bro, I'm gassed. All we have to do is do what we did with Heart Gold, add in a couple new craps, and these guys are eating it. But when it came for Sinnoh's time to do that, Game Freak's like, bro, this is a good thing they did. I want to say they did it out of wanting to make something cool, not out of laziness or some kind of profit thing. Game Freak was just like, bro, come on, to be game developers, you can't be monotonous. There has to be creativity bubbling inside you. So even though they've been making this like same Pokemon game again and again for a bunch of gens, it's always been bubbling. And look at the beginning of Pokemon, you know, with Mewtwo, where a lot of the story wasn't even in the forefront. Bro, there is creativity deep in it. So that's so cool to imagine that in an alternate timeline, it was just supposed to be Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, but maybe looking a lot like Let's Go graphics. And there was no Legends Arceus. This is crazy. Man, we're only 2 minutes in. I gotta go, bro. Oh my God. It would be no Legends Arceus, no BDSP, but it would be a Let's Go like super beautiful Diamond and Pearl remake. And you know what's crazy? I don't even know if that's the better timeline. Because you gave Pokemon fans so much with Legends Arceus that, yo, they're gonna take it and want more and more, you know? They're like, yo, you reinvented? You're capable? Now keep doing it. Versus, oh, all we want is the same Diamond and Pearl game, just an upgraded graphics. Game Freak, you're the ones who let that go. I almost feel like that version of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl would have sold 20 million, 25 million, maybe, because the two games get merged together. And then they're freaking free. They're just working on straight Scarlet and Violet next, with much more time on their hands and much more organized. And then, if the creativity bubbles inside them and they want to do something creative like what the Legends game was, they just have to do it for Legends EA still. That could be the first Legends entry. Wow, y'all let me, listen, this is a difficult thing to talk about, but y'all let me know in the comments, what timeline do you think is more lucrative for Pokemon at the least effort? The timeline where they didn't decide to reinvent themselves as of Legends Arceus, and this is what happened? We were considering a DP remake, which I'm telling you, I remember the mindset, the climate of the Pokemon community. They don't care, they don't expect much. They just love Pokemon so much. It would have worked. Don't tell me, oh, you don't know it could have worked. When freaking Let's Go sold, Let's Go actually, let's look at Let's Go sales. Let's Go sales Pokemon. It's at least 10 million. Over 15 million. That's Kanto. That's for actual kids. There's no battling, mostly. That game sold 15 million. People bought that game knowing it was filler, and for the first time in Pokemon, they put out that game telling you it's not the big game. They're like, yo, we have a 2019 game, but just buy this in the meantime. They told you it's the inferior product, but it's all that is there now. Do you guys want to buy it? And 15 million people bought it as of December 2022. Insane. It's been a year and a half. Who knows what the sales are now? Even if it's 17 million, that's insanity. Let me just do, what's a very popular game? You know what? Let's do this. God of War Ragnarok. You know the pressure that went into this, the time constraints, the headache, the fact that God of War was not supposed to be resurrected after Ascension and all that. Let's see everything that took to resurrect God of War through Cory Barlog and all that. I didn't even plan that. I thought it was like 20 million. I'm not watching the whole video, bro. I gotta go. And it's freaking so hot in here. Y'all let me know in the comments what's more lucrative. Keep watching a bit, bro. Let me at least make it a 5 minutes, but you joking.
Wow. The way it's worded is really intriguing. Assuming development on Legends started around late 2019, and this document was written a while before that, it makes me wonder, what if Game Freak was seriously considering both paths? Now this might sound a bit tinfoil hat, but we know Game Freak has written about hypothetical scenarios in the past, and considering they were still weighing their options in 2019, what if they wrote up a Diamond and Pearl remake pitch document too? If that's the case, it could explain a whole lot, especially the concept art found in the BDSP.
Nah, bro, people always bring up this concept art and they say, yo, this is what BDSP was supposed to look like before Game Freak gave it to LCA. I remember the whole wave of the internet thinking that. Bro, concept art, this could be, concept art brings anything to life. Like red and blue, black and white, pixel graphics. You could have concept art like this to show it off. This is entirely not proof at all that this was the original.
SP art book. For those that don't know, some of the concept artwork in that book shows off a modern, almost
But why kind of look like gameplay? Okay, obviously it's made to look like that, but yo, this is crazy. This looks like some Castelia City. This looks like black and white remix in 2030. They figured out some crazy art style. Like, imagine that's actually what it looked like. It looked kind of like Fighter Z, Dragon Ball Z. I don't think any people are fighting completely over all the different Pokemon art styles. I don't think they've settled on what they like favorite, aside from sprites. I know my camera lagging and all, bro. It's the best I can do.
almost open world version of Sinnoh, and I always found that strange. Why would Ilka, working on a faithful remake with a short turnaround time, produce concept art that suggests—
Pause! I have to go, guys. It's so hot. It's actually told me it's so hot. Look. I gotta go. But my computer's gonna crash. It's freaking boiling. I lost 2 pounds of sweat. Just answer this me in the comments. The BDSP that I'm talking about, of the alternate timeline, you never know if this could have included Mega Evolutions again. Clearly, if they're gonna circle back to it eventually, you don't know if they would have done a back and forth. Megas, then Z, G-Max, 2 filler gimmicks, then they go back to Megas, then 2 filler gimmicks. And maybe alongside this Diamond and Pearl remake is what they're gonna package with X and Y. That's crazy. Like, let me explain. You know how Red and Blue was packaged with Ruby and Sapphire during the remake? And then Diamond and Pearl's packaged in the same gen as Heart Gold and Soul Silver? You never know if it was supposed to be Supreme Diamond and Pearl remakes. Man, there's something about BDSP that just looks like they wanted to include Megas in it. But you know what? Okay, so let me back a bit. So if there's any gimmick, maybe G-Maxes, we're gonna cross over into this Supreme Sinnoh remake. And let me tell you something. Just because you're like, yo, F G-Maxes, let me tell you what they could have done. They could have explained what G-Maxes really are. They could have told you a different story to what Eternatus is. Because these Diamond and Pearl games would come out after Sword and Shield. So this continues it, the same way ORAS expanded lore of Megas. So you could have learned Eternatus has some connection to celestial bodies, where Dialga and Palkia come from. You could have given Dialga and Palkia something of a G-Max, but not a G-Max, something like a primordial form, where they grow massive. And you say G-Maxes come from this, Eternatus is a small fart of this. And now when you make Dialga and Palkia go G-Max or Primordial Max, whatever they call it, it's not a G-Max. It's like a Mega. Their appearances change. Maybe they look like they're distorted forms in their origin forms. Their appearances can change. Their stats can change. This is superior to the origin form idea we got where their stats don't change. And it's kind of like they just want to quickly get it out of the way. And freaking Palkia got shield art over shoulders. I shanked that like button, y'all. I made it freaking 3 minutes into the video. I'm not good at reaction content, I guess. Try to make some easy content, but I'm freaking dying in here. Thanks a lot, editor. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.